My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
And welcome to those of you tuning in for Daniil Medvedev against Alex Michelsen. That match has yet to get underway, but we are watching Jessica Pegula, 2 break points here on Belinda Bencic. But I will be keeping across both matches today. So as soon as Medvedev and Michelsen get underway, you will be aware of things. Double fault, is that from Bencic? Yes, it is. So we've got another break of serve, and now it is Pegula who leads by a break, 3-1. Do let me know your Indian Wells thoughts in the live chat, or if you have any questions, get. You can also vote in our polls as to who you think is going to win, Medvedev or Michelsen, Pegula or Bencic. Get in our polls and vote. I've gone for Medvedev and Pegula in these 2 encounters. And Pegula's raced into a 30-love lead on her serve here, by the way. Medvedev and Michelsen yet to start, but as soon as they do, I will let you know, okay? Don't worry, people. I'm here to inform, okay? So, supposedly. Talking of informing, I can inform you now that Jessica Pegula has 3 game points on her serve. She looks to consolidate that break advantage and get to 4-1, but she's not going to do it just yet. 3-1, 4-15. Elena Rybakina coming up against Sonny Kartal later on. I think Kartal is an overwhelming underdog in that match. I don't think it's any disrespect to say that to Sonny, despite her heroics en route, beating Tararudi in the first round and then Navarro in 3 sets, followed by Madison Keys in 3 sets. By the way, Pegula's held for 4-1, and Medvedev and Michelsen are underway. Michelsen serving first, and he is up 30 love. And it's now 40 love, 3 game points. 3 game points here for Michelsen. And he has sealed the deal. He's over the line. 1-love. And it looks like he's getting 100% of his first serves in at the moment. At least that is according to Google. But sometimes Google is wrong. Let me know in the live chat, by the way, where are you tuning in from to watch this match? And also give me a prediction, please. Bencic here serving at 1-4. One four, 30 love with an ace for Bencic. Decent serve there. Forehand here into the forehand. It's a lovely forehand winner there from Pegula, 40-15. And yes, that is my washing machine. You hear in the background. Bencic can't believe she's missed that, and it is 40-30. So can Bencic get to 2-4 at the very least here? And it is deuce now. Oh, Bagula will be regretting that opportunity. So advantage Bencic. She's got another game point for her. So advantage Bencic. She's serving here. What a return that is from Pegula. And we're back to deuce. Jessica turning the screw right now. Meanwhile, Michelsen and Medvedev are at 1-1, and we've got 3 break points here for Daniil Medvedev on the Alex Michelsen serve. So, is it Medvedev is going to make the first move in this particular encounter? By the way, for those of you just joining, make sure you hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. 3 break points. Daniil Medvedev, can he get over the line the first time of asking? Game point here for Belinda Bencic, but that's going to come and go. We're back to deuce. And Medvedev does indeed get over the line. He's got the break of serve. Lead by 2-1. So Medvedev makes his move. Pegula is trying to get a double break here on Bencic. But it is another game point for Belinda. Interesting slice return there from Pegula. Now it's on the backhand of Jessica, which is good down the line. Now it's on the forehand of Jessica. She goes cross court, but it clips the net and lands out. So we are at 4-2. We will have watch-alongs for Svitolina against Draper against Djokovic and Rybakina against Kartal. So do keep with Talking Tennis today. Hit the notification bell, that thing in the top corner that's of your screen. It's like a bell next to your own emoji or your own sign, if you like. Anyway, it's in the top right of the corner as the screen as you look. Click the notification bell and then you'll get notified whenever we go live. Who is winning the Indian Wells title, by the way? I've gone for Rybakina on the women's side and Alcaraz on the men's side. And we have love 30 here on the Pegula serve, by the way. Is she going to get to 15-30? Yes. Okay, decent return there from Pegula. Sorry, from Bencic. Good volley, though, there from Pegula at the net. 30 all. Really good volley. $30 all. Meanwhile, Medvedev has consolidated that break and got us to 3-1. Game point here for Pegula. But she's not taken it, so it's back to juice, or it's at juice, I should say. Ace from Pagula to get us to 4-2 advantage, and therefore a game point for the American. Backhand cross court into the backhand of Bencic, but Bencic's backhand is a beast. And that's a great forehand in behind Jessica to get us to juice. By the way, we had 100,000 views on our Alexiala Linda Noskova match yesterday. Oh, and we're going to have a break point now for Belinda Bencic, by the way. Is the Djokovic-Draper match the hardest to call? I've gone for Draper, but I think it might be the hardest one to call it, actually. Because Pagula, for me, is a warm, slight favourite against Bencic. I thought Iga would win. I thought Medi would win. So, yeah, I thought Cam Noe would beat Hichikata. It's a nice draw for Cam, to be fair. And Pagula's held for 5-2. By the way, look at that heat bearing down. Not many people in the crowd today. Do hit that like button, by the way. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Okay, change of ends for both players. And Medvedev, by the way, is up a double break now on Michelsen. Just feel like it's a step too far for the American. It's not a step too far for this American here with Jessica Pegula. And it is 15 love here on the Bencic serve. Do get voting in our poll, by the way, as to who you think is going to win. Backhand return there from Pegula goes into the net. So it is 30 love. Hello, Jane. Supporting your man, Medi. Well, he's in good shape at the moment. 4-1 double break advantage. And it's deuce here on the Medi serve, by the way. Jane, what are your thoughts on wins for Norrie and Iga today? Or perhaps also a thought on maybe your support or wish for this Pegula Bencic match? Or maybe you've got a thought on one of the bigger matches later on, maybe Draper against Djokovic. So these are my tips for today. And remember how well I did on my tips yesterday. I've gone for Medvedev over Michelsen, looking pretty good right now. Pegula over Bencic, looking pretty good right now. I went for Iga over Karolina Muchova. Well, we saw what happened there. I went for Cam over Hichikata. I went for Djokovic to lose to Draper. That's probably the biggest call of the day. It's really tough because actually pedigree in the desert, it's 10 years now since Djokovic delivered. Oh, we've got a break point here for Michelsen, by the way. And a double fault for Pegula to commence her service game as she tries to serve out the first set. So, second serve here for Bencic to look at as well. We're into the rally. Now it's on the backhand of Pegula. That's a really good backhand. And that inability to defend that Bencic, I think, has in her game, just got exposed a bit on that last point. I just think there's a few players that might have got their racket on that. I'm thinking Coco Gauff in particular. Fingers crossed we see Coco back on the tour healthy soon. It's got a break point still here for Michelsen. 4-1 Medvedev, and that is a double break. So, and Medvedev has saved it. So we're back to juice. And by the way, Pegula's just struck an ace. So 30-15 Jess, and 2 points away from winning the first set. And it's going to be 2 set points for Jessica Pegula. I'd like to know in the live chat from all of you, by the way, that are tuning in, who would you like to win Indian Wells? Maybe you're a Medvedev fan. Maybe you're a big American and you want Michelsen or Pegula to win. Maybe you're an Iga fan, or perhaps you're a Brit and you're back in the Brits, Draper and Norrie. And Kartal, by the way, what a good tournament it's been for the Brits so far. Kartal is 3 Brits are in the tournament and we're midway through the second week. Forehand cross court here, forehand to forehand. We're on set point for Pegula, but that's a good forehand up the line from Bencic, and Pegula can't do anything about it, 40-30. For those of you just tuning in, hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. We're edging closer to 30,000 subscribers. But it is edging. In the absence of Alexiala, we will edge towards 30,000 rather than scream towards it. Deuce here, by the way, Pegula Bencic, as Pegula tries to serve this out. And this is a really lengthy service game for Daniil Medvedev. Had to save a couple of break points as well. But it is a double break advantage he has in the pocket for the number 11 seed. So he is still very much in the driving seat. Pegula's also in the driving seat, but it's going to be a second serve here for Bencic to look at. Forehand return is going to be mishit, and therefore we are going to have another set point for Jessica Pegula, and we're going to have another break point for Alex Michelsen. Oh, that was a risky second serve from Pegula, and I think it's landed in, but the return from Bencic is too good. Either way, we're back to deuce. No, it was a double fault. It was close. I thought it just landed in, but apparently not. I don't know what that big cheer from the crowd was all about. I'm sorry, I didn't get why they cheered, but there might be a very good reason. Let me know in the live chat if you know what that big cheer was all about. Good return there from Bencic. Now on the forehand of the Swiss. Backhand slice and Jess. She's on the defense here. But that's a good forehand. Now the backhand from Jess. And arguably we're at neutral now. In fact, Jess might just be slightly up in this rally. And Bencic can't deal with it. And we're going to have a set point. That rally swung more than a parliament. Set point, Jessica Pegula. And she gets over the line, winning the first set by 6 games to 3. Medvedev, Michelsen must hate Medvedev more than anyone else, possibly. But he has broken. He's got one of the breaks back, by the way. So it is a 1 break deficit rather than 2 break deficit, Matthew. Okay, so Pegula wins the first set by 6 games to 3. Medvedev's double break advantage. Well, one of the breaks has come and gone, but he has still got 1 in the pocket. Mind you, he's threatening the Michelsen serve here. It's love 30 on the American serve. As Michelsen goes for his towel. Okay, missed first serve here from Michelsen as well. So love 30, second serve. Serve out wide. Medvedev gets it back in play, but that's an incredible backhand there from Michelsen to get us to 15-30. Tennis all the way today. We will have every single match being played in Indian Wells on the single side live streamed. So please stick with us for all of those. Okay, Medvedev breaks. So the double break advantage has been restored. And it's 5-2 for Daniil. And so those frustrations that you highlighted, Matthew. I'm going to have to check this out. Michelsen really annoyed there, going 0 or something. I don't know what he's saying 0 about. He's getting an energy, what do you call them? An energy gel out anyway, to try and revitalize him and his chances going into this latter stages of the first set. So good news for Jane. If you are like Jane and you're supporting Daniil Medvedev, you're seeing your charge a double breakup, and he's going to serve for the first set when they return to the court. Couple of straight sets matches will see me ease into my dinner a little earlier and a little bit more comfortably. I'm going to keep an eye out for this person that you're talking about, Matthew. Maybe a bit more description. Oh, Madrid are winning 2-0 against Man City. PSG 1, Chelsea 1. Oh, full time. Leverkusen 1, Arsenal 1. That's good news, bearing in mind you were 1 down, Matthew. Oh, a late equalizer as well from Kai Havertz from the spot. It's not easy fighting on all 4 fronts. Okay. Medvedev serving for the set here, and he is up at 30-15. Bencic has just broken the on the verge of breaking the serve of Belinda Bencic. Sorry, Jessica Pegula. Love 40. Tell me about this lucky penalty you got, Matthew. I need to know more. Unreturned serve from Medvedev to get to 40-15. Are we going to get an early break for Bencic? We got an early break for Belinda in the first set, don't forget. Now we're going to get another break of serve early for her. (40-30) here on the Medi serve. Set point number 2 for the two-time finalist in the desert. Good serve down the tee there. Now on the forehand of Medi. Cross court. And Michelsen can't deal with it. He puts his forehand in the net. 6-2. The first set is sealed in favor of Daniil Medvedev. So, let's switch over. Did we see a break of serve for Belinda Bencic? We're going to find out any moment. Maybe you already know. I'm watching this now, right now. Bencic puts the backhand into the net. But she did indeed break. So she's up 2-love 15. Remember, when she broke in the first set, she was broken back immediately. So that will be interesting. Bencic, they're looking a bit frustrated. And she's love 30 now on her serve. Do check out, by the way, Tennis Warehouse Europe, and you can get 10% discount on all their stuff if you use the code TALK10, TALK10. It is in the description on YouTube, the link. So that's Tennis Warehouse Europe. And whenever you buy anything from Tennis Warehouse Europe, use the code TALK10 at the checkout for discount. Let me know your thoughts on the proceedings today in Indian Wells. What about Djokovic Draper? We spoke briefly about that earlier, Matthew. I've made my prediction, but I'm intrigued to hear yours. It's a really tough one to call because the eye test says that Djokovic is a long way off. But I've seen Djokovic be a long way off, including in the Australian Open this year. Gets a walkover over Mensik. Musetti retires when he's down 2-0. And as Djokovic said, he's going home. And then he goes and beats Sinner in a one-off match, and he's in the final and wins the first set over Alcaraz, and suddenly everything's rosy. So I remember as well, was it last year when he beat Alcaraz in the quarters, maybe? I think it was. And I didn't think he was playing that well, but a not playing well Djokovic can still win titles, and big ones as well. So he can certainly beat Jack Draper. And yet, Draper is the reigning champ in the desert, and he's playing well. And they haven't played each other for 5 years, so I don't think there's much scar tissue there for Jack in the same way there is for other players, including Alcaraz, by the way. And Pegula breaks back 2-1. 2-1 now, back on service, exactly the same as what happened in the first set. All right, so a bit fortuitous, but it is what it is. And now you'll be the warm favourite, I would suggest, to progress. Of course, away goals don't count anymore, but nevertheless, the 1-1 still suggests, given that you're at home in the second leg, would suggest that I would make you the warm favourites, but I didn't see the match tonight. I've gone for Rybakina to win the title, by the way, on the women's side. Don't know if we think that's a bit crazy or if that's a logical suggestion. I mean, the draw is okay. I'm not sure who she would potentially have in the quarters. I need to have a quick look at the draw actually in a moment. I'm going to have a look at the draw because at the moment we have Pegula leading by a set to love and Daniil Medvedev leading by a set to love. I am intrigued to see where they will end up. I think Medi would play Cam Norrie, I think. But I'm going to check that now. Oh, no, sorry. Cam Norrie is awaiting the winner of Alcaraz and Ruud. Medvedev or Michelsen is playing Draper or Djokovic. Obviously, we've already got Artur Fils and Alexander Zverev on the horizon and Lerner Tien against Jannik Sinner. Those quarterfinals obviously got confirmed yesterday. So, yeah, Alcaraz or Ruud lies in wait, assuming that's not bad for Alcaraz, bearing in mind the matchups he has against Casper and Cam for him to get to the semis. And I would imagine, I mean, the player that I think would Alcaraz prefer to play Medvedev or Michelsen, by the way, in the semis? If, you know, obviously I'm getting a couple of matches down the line. But it's just because the conditions are really good for Alcaraz, and he's got obviously a great track record against Medvedev, especially at Indian Wells. I guess it still is Michelsen, but it's just the randomness of that. I tell you who I don't think he would like to play is Draper, especially if Draper therefore has come through Djokovic and supposedly Medvedev. That would mean Draper's form is pretty hot. I don't think he'd really want to play Djokovic, but you've got to play someone. And it doesn't look like it's going to be Michelsen right now. As for the other half of the draw, Sinner against Tien, Sinner the warm favourite. Who would Sinner rather play, Fils or Zverev? I think maybe Zverev. Maybe. Zverev, of course, and Fils, two players that have never made the semis before. Over to the women's side of the draw, by the way. Sabalenka and Mboko. Well, I think Noskova's beaten Gibson, surely, right? So, Noskova beats Gibson. Sabalenka squeezes past Mboko, but honestly, that's not a clear one. Pegula here at 1-2, by the way, is going to have to save another break point. How are Michelsen and Medvedev doing? Medvedev is broken. So, Medvedev leads 6-2, 1-love with a break. And Pegula saves the break point with a serve into the forehand of Bencic, which goes into the net. Over to the women's draw, by the way. Anyway, talking about some of the matches from today. So we've got Swiatek will play the winner of Siniakova and Svitolina. And we have the winner of Pegula and Bencic will play Kartal or Rybakina. Listen, Kartal has been brilliant. And I love watching her play. Got a game point for Pegula, but I think it's not a bad draw for Rybakina. But what I will say is for at least the quarterfinal, but even, at least the quarterfinal anyway, for Swiatek, it's okay. It's just, I think the rounds 3 and 4 were the tricky-ish, like considering the, ace down the tee for Pegula, 2-all. Listen, I thought that she would beat Sakkari and I thought that she would beat Mukova. And actually, she did it very comfortably, both matches in straight sets, losing just 2 games today to Carolina, by the way. That match got to 2-all, and then Iga reeled off 10 games in a row. But I just thought for rounds 3 and 4, they were tricky, considering who you could be playing. And I think considering who you could be playing in the quarterfinal, if it's Siniakova, yeah, I think that'll be nice for Swiatek. Svitolina will pose 1 or 2 issues, but I still expect Iga to win it, bearing in mind how comfortable she is in the desert. And it's obviously 4 years in a row that she's made the semis there, and I think it'll be 5. Where it gets back interesting again for Iga is the semis. Because if it's Pegula, or especially if it's Rybakina, then it suddenly gets very difficult again. And then the final, I don't think she'd... Listen, I think it would be a fantastic final, eagerly anticipated. I think both players would fancy their chances, but I don't think Iga would be scared of playing Sabalenka in the final in Indian Wells as much as she would be, for example, if it was Australia or even maybe New York. Okay. Medvedev looking to consolidate his break 6-2-1 love 40-30. Pegula here has got 15-30 on the Bencic serve. She looks to go up a set and a break, much like Daniil has done on the other court. Forehands to forehands here, and it's the forehand error from Bencic that gets us to 15-30. But then Bencic wins the next point for 30-all. Game point, Daniil Medvedev, 6-2-1 love. So Medvedev and Pegula are looking good at the moment. Just going to get some water. Just going to put some tomatoes in with my pasta, which I'll be having after this stream ends. Let me know some Champions League scores in the live chat. Also, make sure to give us a follow on Instagram at TalkingTennisTT. Also, let me know, can you hear me okay when I'm this far away from the mic? I do have a mic I can walk around the apartment with, which maybe I can attach for a stream in the future. But it might not be that easy to hear me from so far away. Has Medvedev consolidated his break? How is Bencic doing? She's got a game point at 40-30, I see. Oh, deuce. And I've forgotten my water. Oh. Medvedev has consolidated. So 6-2-2 love. And I'm getting a bit chilly. So I'm going to put my jacket on. And my slippers. I need my slippers as well. It's just the temperature just begins to drop. We had a couple of good weeks of weather in Germany, but it's just dropping again. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, people. Stop panicking. Stop panicking. Break point Pegula, but she's missed a really good chance. Interesting, yeah. Novak in Australia is certainly someone who loves the night. And the eye test and the performances from Novak, which Novak readily admits, by the way. He said after his previous match that he's way off it. But it's Novak Djokovic, so. Okay, Medvedev leads 6-2, 2-1 with a break. And we're going to have a break point here again for Jessica Pegula. Breakpoint Pegula. Where's this second serve going to go from Bencic? She serves. It's breakpoint number 2 in this game for Jess. Oh, what a huge second serve that was. No lacking in bravery there from Bencic. And we're back to deuce. Michelsen and Medvedev are at a change of ends, by the way. So, deuce here. 2 break points in this game have come and gone from Pegula. That was a huge second serve out wide from Bencic. First serve here at deuce. And it goes out wide as well. Forehand return, but no. Second serve didn't land in. The break with the change of ends between Medvedev and Michelsen seems to be lasting quite a while. I will be tuning into that in a moment. Forehand here into the forehand of Pegula. Forehand cross court is defended by Bencic. Bencic again defending. I don't think it's her strong suit. And that's a wonderful backhand winner down the line there from Jessica Pegula. And it's going to be break point number 3 in this game. And Medvedev and Michelsen have returned to the court. Love 15 with Medvedev serving. Do hit that like button, by the way. And if you're new to the channel, you've not been here before, hit subscribe and watch this number tick over. You will be potentially 27,151. But to us, you'll be much more than a number. And you can do a little dance knowing that you have made a difference. Okay, into the rally here on break point. Oh, Pegula had a chance to pass Bencic there. She dumps a backhand into the net and we're back to deuce once again. All right. I've still got my water to get. It's just over here, by the way, so it's not too far away. I might be grating some cheese on the live stream in a moment, actually. Bencic now with a game point. You want to see me grate some cheese? Parmesan. Live on Talking Tennis. Talking Cheese. Chalk and cheese, maybe. Back to deuce with Pegula and Bencic, by the way. Medvedev here struggling to hold on to his serve. He's at 30 all. Of course, he is up a break. The problem with this particular cheese, it's actually Gran Padano, which I think is sort of very similar cheese to Parmesan, but it's a bit softer. And so sometimes when you're doing this, I don't know if you can see this very well, it just suddenly breaks. But when it doesn't break, it's very useful and very tasty. Got all sorts of things going on in the background, by the way. I've got my washing machine whirring. Okay. All right. 30-40, break point for Michelsen. All right, that'll do. Don't want to. Well, I was going to say I don't want to over cheese it, but I don't know if you can. Oh, break point number 4 for Pegula. She chops that return back on the forehand of Bencic. Forehand cross court into the forehand of Bencic. Which was great angle there. What a forehand winner from Jessica Pegula. She is up a set and a break. And Daniil Medvedev, I'm going to get this pronunciation right in a moment, has a game point for 3-1. Let's switch over to Medvedev and Michelsen because Pegula is 3 games away from a spot in the next round. Don't forget, Pegula was down a set and 4-3 with a break for Ostapenko. So Ostapenko was in a very similar position, very commanding position herself against Pegula. But that was Ostapenko. This is Pegula. I think it's easy to argue that Jess is the much more solid of the 2 players. Medvedev here has a game point. Do stick with us on Talking Tennis, by the way, because we're going to have streams for Draper and Djokovic. We're going to have streams for Kartal and Rybakina, plus Alcaraz and Ruud. Anyone else? Am I missing anyone else? I'm just trying to think. Oh, yes, Siniakova and Svitolina as well. Oh, Medvedev holds for 3-1. So he is 3 games away from the win. Jessica Pegula is 3 games away from the win. Medvedev just gets a towel there. So Michelsen serving here at 1-3. Okay, what's going on? Oh, Medvedev, love 15. And Pegula's back on court and raced into a 4-love lead. Good to have so many of you across these 2 streams right now. Please do hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Love 15 here on the Michelsen serve. But it's a good forehand up the line from Alex to get us to 15 all. Okay, backhand here from Medi down the line. It's going to be a passing shot to get us to 15-30. Pegula holds, by the way, so she consolidates the break, gets to 4-2. And there we see Michelsen looking a bit disconsolate, actually. Down a set and a break, but also 15-30 on his serve. Was going to go for a serve volley there, but missed his first serve. So a second serve here for Medi to look at. Meanwhile, Pegula is getting closer and closer to the finish line. 2 games away right now from a spot in the quarterfinals. And that spot would be against either Kartal or Rabakina. All good defending there for Michelsen, but he can't defend that. 15-40. Michelsen on the stretch there did well to defend and get it back over the net, but Medvedev ultimately put the forehand short ball away. So 15-40. And Michelsen comes in for a serve volley. What a volley from Alex Michelsen. As he came in for that, I thought, uh-oh, you've made a big mistake there because you're not putting this volley away. But Alex Michelsen was like, John, shut up. I know what I'm doing. And I tell you what, when you can hit volleys like that, maybe you should serve volley a bit more often. Okay, forehand here from Michelsen is going to be a winner, is it? Not outright, but he should put that volley away, and he does. Deuce. Well done, Alex Michelsen, for saving those 2 break points. Bencic here serving at 2-4, 30-15. Okay, Michelsen misses the first serve. So second serve here for Medi to look at. Backhand return into the forehand of Michelsen. And that's gone long, that return. So game point here for Michelsen. Okay. Game point Michelsen, but he puts that forehand into the net. So we are back to deuce. Michelsen has saved 2 break points. The most sensational of them was that incredible volley he did off a serve volley. Serve volley, of course, is a tactic against Medvedev. Maybe Michelsen should be deploying it more often, given the way he can volley. But it is a tactic that's been heavily relied on in the past by Novak Djokovic and Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz especially in those 2 Indian Wells finals. And now Michelsen's at the net. And I tell you what, his touch at the net is sensational. And yet he still loses that point. Incredible movement around the court there for Medvedev. But Michelsen's touch at the net, let's not underestimate it. And I think it's something we can use going forward. Because I think it's going to help him win a lot of tennis matches. Yes, he's annoyed he didn't win that point because really, probably he should have done. He'd almost done the hard work with the incredible network and the touch that he had. It was still not an easy shot for him to down the line. But anyway, now as he could put that forehand away, he's going to have a tricky smash here. No, he's not. It's going to land out. Deuce. Oh, break point. Bencic here at deuce. So Bencic serving 2-4 deuce. Yeah. And I just, listen, is Michelsen winning a slam? Probably not. Is he getting to world number 1? Almost certainly not. So what else is there? There is an incredible slam run in him one day where he gets to the semis or maybe even the final in New York or maybe Wimbledon. I don't think clay's ever going to be his thing, despite that 175 challenger he won last year in Estoril. Which he won, by the way, on the back of just being an incredibly good tennis player rather than necessarily a great clay tennis player. Maybe the draw as well wasn't too bad. Pellegrino in the final, for instance, who didn't really turn up, to be fair. But with volleys like that and a decent serve and some pretty good shot making off the ground, you know, sure. Why not win a 1,000 one day? Why not win maybe... Oh, Oh, look at that volley, though. Look at that volley. You see? Look at the creativity, the artistry, the industry from Michelsen that he's able to produce. By the way, Bencic, big hole because she was down 2-4 there and was struggling a bit. But 8 from 15 net points won. That's not a great ratio considering I've just been praising his volley so much. But he gave one away anyway. So suddenly it's 9 from 15 and maybe it looks slightly better. But anyway, game point here for Michelsen. And Medi misses the backhand. So change of ends. 3-2 Medi, but still with a break. Let's zone in on potentially the latter stages of Pegula against Bencic. I say potentially because Pegula is in exactly the same position that Yelena Ostapenko was in against Jessica in Indian Wells this year. Was that the last round or the round before? I was going to say it's the previous round, but honestly, I'm getting my rounds confused at the moment. Yeah, previous round. Yeah, because Ostapenko was up 6-4, 4-3 with a break. But then Pegula won the next 3 games in the set and won the set and then easily won the third set, 6-2. So I think Pegula won 3-9 of the last 11 games to run away with that match. But Pegula's not Ostapenko. Forehand, here, cross court from bench into the net. So 15 love. Good start for Jess in this service game. Oh, we've just gained a couple of subscribers. Thank you very much for all of you who are hitting that like button and you're subscribing. And as soon as you subscribe, watch that number. Good serve down the tee there from Jess to get us to 30 love. I'm just going to attend to my pasta, which I'm hoping to eat at the end of these 2 matches, the Pegula and the Medvedev matches. Wonderful return from Bencic, 30-15. I want to have a quick look on the Champions League scores from this evening, which are currently... Oh, PSG are leading Chelsea 2-1. Madrid are 3-0 up on Man City. Well. Maybe their decision to dispense of the services of Xabi Alonso looked like it might be a wise decision, but it's still early doors. I mean, the thing is, with a 2-legged match, you can be 3-0 up after an hour in the first leg. But if you, let's say it's 3-2, I mean, 3-0, if that was just a straight league match or a straight one-off cup tie, you know, Man City will be in big trouble. But actually, they only need 2 goals to suddenly make the second leg very interesting. In fact, you could argue with the away goals now not really mattering, even just a 3-1 loss might not be the end of the world. Bodo Glimt beating Sporting Lisbon, by the way, 2-0. And PSG up 2-1 on Chelsea in Paris. So that brings you up to date with all the football. If you have zero interest in the football and you say, look, John, this is talking tennis, not talking football, get back to the tennis. It's exactly what I'm about to do. And Medvedev, by the way, 3-2, 40 love. So 3 game points for Daniil. Bencic here serving 3-5, 7% in the match. I just had a little bite on my pasta. Okay, Bencic, 3-5, 7% in the match. Medvedev is held for 4-2. Good serve down the tee there from Bencic, 30 love. So, results from today thus far. Iga Swiatek beat Mukova. That was my prediction. Cam Norrie beat Hijikata. That was also my prediction. Pegula is very, very, very close to beating Belinda Bencic. That was also my prediction. Daniil Medvedev is very, very, very close to beating Alex Michelsen. That is also my prediction. Mind you, 40 love here for Bencic to at least keep Jess honest by making her serve this out. 3 game points for Belinda. See, the thing is, for me, Bencic not being an elite mover or an elite defender, when she comes up against someone as good as Jessica, but also someone who plays with a bit of margin like Jessica, sometimes those marginal shots are still winners or still like outright winners when Belinda's not even close to it, or Belinda can't really get her racket on it. Different against someone like Coco, who can make, unbelievable winners. Look at Coco against Ostapenko, for example, at the US Open a couple of years ago. And yet Coco's just frustrating the hell out of her. And same with Coco against Sabalenka on many, many occasions. We see the difference in the Sabalenka matches in terms of the tolerance that Coco has, but also the length of the rallies. When those rallies go beyond 8 or 9 points, it's almost game over. And that's what was happening so often in that French Open final, Roland Garros last year between Goff and Sabalenka, and does do in slow, stodgy conditions, or as it was that day, very windy. Anyway, let's have a quick look at Medvedev. He's at 30 all on the Michelsen serve. So if he was to get the break here, he would then be serving for the match. But let's just stay with Pegula and Bencic right now because they're returning to the court. Even though it's been just one set and then potentially straight sets, it could be pushing an hour and a half this match, which tells you how close it's been. But I mean, we've had a few breaks of serve. Belinda, of course, was up an early break in both the first and second set. Anyway, Jessica Pegula here serving for the match. Medvedev has a break point to put himself in a position to serve for the match. But we're just going to stay with Pegula and Bencic for a moment. Double fault from Pegula to start this game. So love 15. And Michelsen saved that break point, by the way. So it's back to juice. It was at juice there, sorry. Remember to hit that like button, people. You can also click share, by the way, which is, I think, below the screen somewhere or below the... Yeah, just click share and set this on your socials with all your friends. Maybe you can annoy them. I think you can send this on... You can send it to people on WhatsApp, I'm neither encouraging nor discouraging that. But certainly put it on Facebook or X, or can you share it on Instagram? I don't know. Okay. Chop return here from Bencic. Backhand. Pretty calm backhand there. It was a bit tame from Pegula. And Bencic has punished that tame backhand from Pegula that wasn't really risky enough. She just patted it back in play and almost hoped that Bencic would hit an error, but she didn't. It was a good forehand winner from Belinda, nevertheless. 15-30. Michelsen holds, by the way. So Medvedev doesn't get that break and won't be serving for the match just yet. But he's constantly threatening the Alex serve. Served on the tee. Forehand return from Belinda Bencic. Forehand cross court from Belinda into the forehand of Pegula. Forehand from Pegula up the line is not bad, but so's that cross court from Bencic, and she's going to have 2 break points. Well. Bencic has been applying pressure to the Pegula serve today. She broke her at the beginning of the match and then broke her in the early moments of the second set. But on both occasions, Bencic wasn't able to consolidate the break, and Jess got it back on serve. Well, is she going to break Jess for a third time? Good serve down the tee there, but well done, Bencic, for getting it back in play. What a forehand winner that is from Bencic. 5-all. 5 games all. And well, I did not anticipate that. I might be the king of the predictions, but I didn't anticipate that. Oh, Chelsea have equalised against PSG, 2-all. Over in Paris, first leg, of course. Round of 16 in the Champions League. Okay, Bencic serves. Misses the first serve. So second serve here for Jess to look at. Backhand return, but goes into the net. You do suspect, though, if Pegula got the break again, she would serve it out. I think, in a way, if you're a break up and you don't serve it out, but then you break and then serve for it a second time, I always think you're in a better position mentally than if you were up a double break and therefore had 2 opportunities to serve it out as well. But I think you're more vulnerable the second time because you're like, oh my goodness, I had a double break now. I've got to get this done now. Whereas the other way round, it's a bit like a second chance. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Backhand return from Jess. Nice backhand up the line from Pegula. But that forehand from Bencic goes into the all. Okay. Medvedev, meanwhile, 4-3, 30 love. I was sure that this Bencic match would be done first. Pegula would get this done the first time of asking when trying to serve it out. But she did Ostapenko in a way. Ostapenko didn't get as far as serving for it, to be fair. Misses the first serve, Bencic. So second serve here for JPEG to look at. Medvedev has 3 game points for 5-3, by the way. Good serve down the tee there from Bencic. We have seen her take a few risks on that second serve. But the forehand goes into the net. That's 2 points in a row where the Bencic forehand broke down. And just physically as well, I think she might just starting to feel it there as she bends down to try to just recuperate for a final push in this set at the very least. Medvedev, by the way, is a game away from a spot in the quarterfinals. He is up 6-2, 5-3 on Alex Michelsen. Ace down the tee from Bencic. So she has recuperated big style, 30 all. Is she going to ensure at least a tiebreak for herself? I think it is quite hot out there today, by the way. Now having a reassessment of things, just because I wasn't too sure earlier on when Matthew asked. Good serve out wide, and that's not going to land in. So 40-30. So really good serve out wide. That Pegula did well to get her racket on it. And Bencic was there ready because I thought it might just drop in, but in the end it just dropped out. Hour and 34 minutes on the clock. Bencic serving. In the piercing sunshine. Serves down the tee. Forehand return from Pegula. Forehand now to forehand. Backhand cross court into the backhand of Bencic. Backhand up the line from Jess. Jess would love to get us to juice here and make Pegula think. Slice there from Pegula. And the missed backhand from Bencic. Juice. Michelsen serving to stay in the match at 3-5. He is up 30 love. So here we are at deuce. Might not be many chances left for Michelsen. And there might not be many chances left for you to hit subscribe. So do it right now. Or don't. Up to you. Ace down the tee from Bencic. She's bringing out the aces just when she needs it most. So she now has a game point to 6 5. And Michelsen serving to stay in the match. Is at least so far doing his part. 30 love, he leads. Missed the first serve, Bencic, as she tries to go out wide. And Michelsen now leads 40 love, so he's going to have 3 game points to at least make Medvedev serve it out. That second serve was tame, but it had a good spot. And what a backhand cross court for Bencic. 5 she leads. So we're going to get at least a tie break from her side. I say at least a tie break. She'll be either going to a tie break or she's going to break Jessica Pegula and win this set. Pegula, let's just remind you, especially if you're just joining us, Pegula was serving for the match. And yet, Bencic broke with some great first strike tennis. Bencic, there we see that tattoo on her right wrist, which I think is the Olympic rings from when she, of course, won Olympic gold in Tokyo in 2021. I think it was still called the 2020 Olympics, wasn't it? But it was held in 2021 due to COVID. That backhand, by the way, I've mentioned elements of holes in Bencic's game. The backhand is definitely not one of those holes. So Medvedev will serve for the match, and Pegula will serve to stay in the second set. I'm going to turn on Medi as well. I'm going to have both of these matches on right now because who knows what might happen in the next couple of minutes. I've got Medi on my phone and Pegula on my TV. Pegula is serving first. She'll be on before Medi and Michelsen resume. Okay. Now, time has been called for Medi and Michelsen. And Pegula has got a 30 love lead on her serve as she serves to stay in this set as Bencic puts that into the tram lines. It's going to be 30-15, mind you. Okay, Medvedev serving for the match. If we get a game point for Pegula or a set point for Bencic, I will let you know, of course. Medi here with a bunch of backhands, but he's going to miss that backhand up the line. So love 15. I wonder what's going to finish first. These Michelsen, Medvedev, will that finish first? Or will Pegula, Medvedev finish first? Or will my washing machine finish first? It's a race against time, people. Although in tennis, there is no clock, but in my washing machine, there is. But you get the point. Pegula goes long there, 30 all. Good serve from Medi out wide, but it's the rally still on. Michelsen defending really well there, and now he's on the attack, but he's gone long, 15 all. Oh, it's 30-15. Sorry, my bad. So Medvedev, 2 points away from the win. Bencic, 2 points away from winning the second set. Chop return there from Bencic. Pegula comes into the net. Is that lob going to land in? No, it's not. 40-30. Look how annoyed Bencic is there. I mean, it was the right choice, I think. I mean, Pegula was bearing down on the net, and Pegula's not the tallest, but just because of the position where Bencic was, I do think the lob was the right choice, but maybe she's annoyed with her execution. By the way, 30 all Medvedev Michelsen. And we are going to a tiebreak, Pegula Bencic, by the way. So let's just hone in on this situation here. Ace down the tee for Medvedev, bringing up a match point for Daniil. But can he seal it on this first match point? Medvedev serves. Second serve here for Michelsen to look at. A spot in the quarterfinals once again for Daniil at stake. Serves on the tee. Now on the forehand of Daniil into the backhand of Michelsen. Backhand from Medi goes cross court. Michelsen defends it. Forehand from Medi. Oh, what a forehand cross court that is from Michelsen, by the way, to save the match point. We're back to deuce. We're at deuce, I should say. Keep making that mistake today. When I get to the first deuce, often I say back to deuce, but we're at deuce. Okay. A tie-break beginning, by the way, between Bencic and Pegula, and it's Pegula who wins the first point, 1-0, and it was on the Bencic serve, so a mini break. Double fault for Medvedev. Are we seeing a similar thing like Pegula when she was serving for the match? Ace from Pegula, 2-0 for her. So now we have a break point for Alex Michelsen in a match. Honestly, Medvedev has dominated this match thus far. Served on the tee, chop return, forehand from Medi, backhand there from Michelsen, fighting, scrambling, hoping as well. Comes into the net. Now Medi on the backhand, goes to the lob. Oh, but he's got to that lob, but we're into the rally still. Medvedev on the run, forehand cross court. Wonderful backhand down the line. Medvedev tries to pass. He should win the point from here. And does. Deuce. Body shot there from Medi. Michelsen, I don't think, was particularly happy with it, but what a breakpoint save. By the way, Bencic has got the mini break back in this tie break. So it is 2-1. Ooh, it's all happening at the moment. Hi, Ghosty, once again. It's all happening right now. Pegula serving for the match. Couldn't serve it out. And now we're into the tie break. Medvedev trying to serve for the match here and has had to just fend off a break point. Deuce. Second serve. Forehand return from, oh, what a find out the line. But look at the defense there from Michelsen. Michelsen still defending, still scrambling. Is he going to get to this? Is he going to win the point? Yes, he is. What a scrambler. Alex Michelsen is, and I mean that with the absolute highest of compliments, because he's so much more, but I'm just talking about these points. Look at that. How did he get a racket on that, and how did he get it over the net? And then chase that down, and look at the touch. So he's got the scramble and the touch. It's like an egg with some nice spices on top. Pegula, by the way, now leads 4-1 in the tiebreak. And it's a double mini break in her advantage. Ace down the tee. Yeah. It's a close call. But Michelsen, by the way, is so annoyed with that. Not because it was the wrong call, I don't think. Not because, you know, the umpire's messed up or anything. But it's just, oh my goodness, why does it happen? Oh, look, he's annoyed again. I've seen this from Michelsen before, by the way, when he was playing Denis Novak on clay and a challenger in Portugal. And he's like, why is it Denis Novak? He's playing more like Novak Djokovic. So funny. Okay, second match point here for Medi. Down the tee. Backhand now cross court into the forehand of Michelsen. But Medvedev is defending. Michelsen on the attack. Medvedev with a forehand down the line. What a volley there from Michelsen. I told you he's excellent at the net. I told you. 4-2, by the way. Pegula, Bencic at the change of ends. Bencic gets one of the mini breaks back with a decent return. So we're at deuce now with Medvedev and Michelsen. And by the way, I'm just listening to my washing machine. Remember, I said washing machine against Pegula versus Bencic versus Medvedev Michelsen. Which is going to conclude first? Honestly, I don't know. It might be the washing machine. Okay, Medvedev comes into the net here. Should win the point from here. But you never know with that scramble of Michelsen, but he doesn't win the point there. So advantage Medvedev. 6.5 minutes on the clock for this game. He saved a couple of break points, has Medi, but he's also had a couple of break match points of his own. Medvedev to serve here. Match point. Okay, where are you going to go? Match point number 3. Out wide. It's a good serve. Medvedev should win the point from here. And does with a forehand drive winner. Sticks his thumb up. I'm not sure if it's to the crowd or his box. I've seen him do that to his box on a few occasions in the past, albeit that was more probably to Gilles Chavada rather than his current team makeup. Michelsen, by the way, ever the sportsman, despite some of the fact he just can't believe how Medi is painting lines on some of those serves just when it matters most, when he's break point down, for example, as he was trying to serve it out. But ultimately, Daniil Medvedev gets over the line. 6-2, 6-4. It's a match that Daniil dominated, by the way, pretty much from start to finish. He was pressurized and the Michelsen serve so often to get that double break in the second set, but wasn't able to take it, but ultimately gets over the line and reaches yet another Indian Wells quarterfinal. Remember, he's been in 2 Indian Wells finals in the past and also a semi-finals. And now he's in the quarterfinals once again, and he'll play the winner of Novak Djokovic and Jack Draper. That is to come for Daniil Medvedev in a place where, despite the fact I don't think the conditions necessarily suit him, it is a place where he's thrived. But then has he thrived? Because he's not won a title there. And that is my washing machine, which finishes second in this race to the finish line. Medvedev, well done. You get first prize. Second prize for my washing machine. Third prize will be for Pegula or Bencic. By the way, third prize in a 3-horse race is not really a prize. But anyway, it is what it is. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.